Hey guys, I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps RC. We're an official DJI dealer in the United States, and today we're going to do a quick review. We got a new product from killerrc.com. Kent Keller over at Killer RC has sent us this Vision Plus Gimbal Saver. So we're going to show you what it takes to get it on the Vision Plus, how easy it is, and how it's going to benefit your gimbal, make it just a little more durable. There are some different options on this one that we do like, the way it's machined, and how easy it is to put on the gimbal. You'll need a number 0 Phillips head screwdriver, and that's all it is to get started. So we're going to show you what's in the pack now and how to install it. So here we are on the bench, and let's go ahead and open this up for you and show you what's in the bag. Right away, it looks like a nice little postcard from Killer RC. We have the instructions. Pretty simple and straightforward. It shows you what you need to install it. You're gonna need to Loctite your bolts, so that's one of the big things you're gonna need to have on hand also for this installation. Kent Keller's business card, some Killer RC stickers, pretty cool, put on your Phantom. And this looks like the arm that wraps around, and everything is nicely packaged here. Everything has its own bag, which is really nice. Just a nice detail, this kit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back plate. It's going to go on the back side of your gimbal. You're going to replace the original gimbal back plate with this one. So very nicely done, nicely machined. You can see it's all custom CNC'd. Feels like a really light type of metal, so this one is not really going to add much extra weight to the existing gimbal, which is going to be a really nice thing. And then this is the arm that goes around the front of the gimbal. That's going to keep the motor from separating in a bump or a light crash. And it looks like there's a nylon screw on the front of this, which will go in front of, right in front of the motor. It won't touch the motor, however, when we install it. It'll just be right in front of the motor to keep it from separating. And the nice thing about this is that he has included an Allen wrench. So we're going to make sure that we have Loctite on these two screws when we put them through the back plate. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll grab some Loctite and show you how this all goes together. Now we can begin with step one. The first thing we're going to do is remove the factory screws off the back of the gimbal plate. And if you can, while you're doing this, we have a pretty big bench, but if you have a washcloth or something you can put underneath your helicopter to keep your screws from bouncing out and off the side of your table that you're working on, it's a good tip. So now we have all 3 screws out. Remember, this top screw is going to be a smaller screw. Go ahead and remove the factory back plate. Now we're going to take the Killer RC one, and you want to position it correctly. Now, before you put these screws in on the back plate, you want to get some blue Loctite. Make sure that you have the semi-permanent blue Loctite. Go ahead and put a dab on the screw and take the excess off with your fingers. And go ahead and put the first screw in. You don't need to remove the gimbal lock while you're doing this. You can leave that on. We're not going to tighten down all the screws to their fullest position just yet. We're just going to have them put in place so that it's holding in the gimbal back plate on. Now we're going to do the smallest one. Doesn't really matter the order you do these, as long as you can get them all nicely seated on the back plate. Now all 3 are on. We'll go ahead and tighten them down just a little more. Okay, like so. And each of these screws have blue Loctite on them to keep them in place, because they can vibrate out during flight. Now, the next step you want to do is put on the arm that goes around the front side of the motor on the gimbal, and you'll need the Allen wrench for that. go ahead and take some Loctite and put on the Allen bolt itself before you put it through. So go ahead and put some on and dab the rest off with your finger. So now we're moving on to step 2 in this process. Very simple. Just take the arm that goes around the front of the motor and hold it with your left hand. Using your right hand, and the screw's already on the end of the Allen wrench, go ahead and screw that first one in. You don't have to screw it down super tight at first. You can just get it in place for the next bolt that you're going to put in. Okay. We've already got Loctite on these, so they're good to go. We'll go ahead and put the next one in. This is really pretty simple. And this doesn't look like it's going to add a lot of extra weight to your gimbal, so there shouldn't be any weight issues with this installation. And that's it. That's all there is to putting on the Killer RC Gimbal Saver for the Phantom Vision Plus. It looks pretty nice. So now we're going to turn it to the side and we're going to show you a little close-up of how it looks once it's installed, and show you how much space there is in between the motor and the gimbal lock itself. So really quickly, we fired up the app, and now we wanted to show you that it indeed does not come close to the Gimbal Saver when the camera's in operation. We go all the way down to the ground, and plenty of room. And also, if you look closely, you can see that there's going to be no friction in between the Gimbal Saver. There's a huge gap in between the Gimbal Saver and the ribbon cable, so no problems there. If we move the Phantom around a little bit, we've got plenty of clearance. So great product from Killer RC, for sure. Check them out on killerrc.com. So that's it. That's all there is to it for the Gimbal Saver from Killer RC. Check him out on killerrc.com and look up Kent Keller on the internet. Great guy. He's done a lot of different mods for our copters. The Phantom Vision Plus Gimbal Saver is definitely one that we highly recommend, mainly because of the manufacturing side of things. It is a little more expensive, like we say, but we think it's definitely worth the money for your Phantom, especially if you've already, you've spent $700 on this gimbal. So a little bit of extra insurance for it is definitely worth it in the long run. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to take your factory backplate and put that somewhere to the side in case you have some sort of warranty issue or whatever, and save the screws that came with this backplate as well. If you send it back to DJI, you want to make sure this is on there. So thanks again for watching. I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps RC. Please click subscribe.